everyone surviving so far. No, they are not. Getting hit.
Look at goes forward. What a move! That's some late braking, and that's what you want to see. Lots of pressure put on the McLaren driver, but he's dealing with it like a boss.
Hello and welcome, guys. Hope everyone is doing well, and tonight we're just going to have a look and see if we can find any open lobbies, or we'll maybe do some practice server. We'll maybe go on the practice server because we have a race tomorrow. So we'll see. Like I say, we'll either do the practice server or some open lobbies. And from the look of things, I don't see any open lobbies, which is going to be a pain. You could do an AI race actually. I haven't done one of them in a while. Yeah, why is there no Imola open lobby races? It's usually fairly popular for open lobbies. Oh well. What we could do is AI race, quick race, 20 minutes, starting position last, weather cloudy, what was I looking for, time of day, 5 AM. And see if that's about 15 degrees. I need it. I think it's 14 or 15 degrees that should be at. 17 degrees, 3 degrees difference, that's absolutely fine. So load the race V4 setup on race fuel load. We'll do, well, these are 20 minutes. Say we'll do 2 of these, and then we'll either jump into an open lobby if there is one. If not, we'll go into the practice server, and I also have to get the tire pressures. So we have a graph we use, so we find basically the two extremes. So the coldest that we expect it to be and the hottest we expect it to be, and we get the tire pressures perfect for those two temperatures, and then the sheet graph thing, whatever you call it, that calculates that as a separate box, and you put in the current track temp, and based off the two values you gave it that you've tested, it tells you what tire pressure to put on. But I got that from one of my teammates actually. I can't take any credit for it at all. One of my teammates, Emmanuel, who raced with us in, what was it? There was a race we did together with Emmanuel, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, completely forgotten. I want to say we did, we definitely did an endurance race together. I can't remember what championship it was, but anyway, we did one with him and he gave me the sheet. So like I say, you put in you test the tire pressures for the lowest temp you expect and the highest temp you expect, and then you put in the current temp, and it calculates it based off those two values. So it's very handy because it's so much better than guessing. Obviously there's a lot of variables when you're actually in a race, based on how hard you're pushing and stuff changes tire pressures, but it's a lot more accurate than just guessing the tire pressures. Or what some people do is they test the tire pressures, get them perfect for the starting one. They write down the starting pressures in the sheet, and then every pit stop they adjust them, and they write down how much they adjusted them by, which can work, but also if you forget to do it once, then you completely mess up the tires, which I did do a race where I stood in for someone in Bathurst, and that's what they did. They used the starting pressures and then adjusted it, and then one of the stints they forgot to actually send it on the team chat, so then our tire pressures for like an hour were completely messed up. So it does work, but it's very easy for it to go wrong if you do it that way. It's a 5-hour race tomorrow, and I think it starts at 5 in the morning, as in game time. So that could be interesting. good start so far in this AI race. Sometimes the AIs just murder you. Like that. That was a close call. This is the VSR Lamborghini. This is the one that Ballast Sport have a partnership with VSR. That's a good thing about doing the AI races, is you get to test the track limits. In hot lap you don't know what is no time gained and what's the track limit, whereas if you do practice race, it does help you realise or appreciate just how bad the track limits can be sometimes. At Imola you have to use so much curb to be quick, but if you get it wrong it is so easy to mess up. I think we'll get up to first and then we'll drop back again, because I kind of want to practice a bit of overtaking here rather than hot lapping, because I've been doing a bit of hot lapping already actually, to which we made a really good setup and it feels really quite nice. Oh, that was a snap. Way too much curb. Actually, I think what I did was I hit the middle of the curb. You have to completely cut the curb or not touch the curb, but if you touch the middle of it, it throws you up. So you can hit either side of the curb but not the middle. So you do have to be careful with that in that corner. That entire section really is quite bad for the sausage curbs. This entire track really, if you hit the sausage curb wrong, it throws you up. Or gives you a track limit warning. That might be a track limit warning. Nope, no time gained. Got a good run on the McLaren. If we can get past him here, then we can focus on the Audis. Might just send it here. Yeah, that was too much of a send. I couldn't get it slowed down. That would be a penalty if that was in a race, because that was way too late on the brakes by me. Way too late. Right, we can do low to mid 41s race pace, I think, in these temperatures, so should catch these two leaders quite quickly, and then we'll drop down the field again, maybe to like 12th, and fight back through. Because I also want to test how the setup performs when you're battling, because when you're battling you often are taking different lines and braking later, and sometimes you find that it's actually really understeery if you're not on the perfect line. So it's a good test just to go out in a AI race to test the setup and the track limits. So I think we'll do 2 of these, and then we'll, if there isn't an open lobby, we'll go into a offline practice session to get the tyre temps, and once we've done that we will jump into the practice server or an open lobby. I'd rather do open lobbies, to be honest, when we're streaming, because unfortunately I can't give you guys the password to join practice servers, but open lobbies is fine. So it would be ideal if there is an open lobby after we do these. Now that was a rubbish lap, I have to say. I'd be surprised if this is even a 41, to be honest. It was a very, very slow lap. Yeah, 42.1, very slow. Basically from the first sector I knew it was going to be slow, because I messed up the first corner. Slow first sector, even though it felt a bit smoother than the last one, it was actually slower. Only by a tenth or so, but still it was definitely slower. Maybe just didn't carry enough speed into turn 1. With sector 1, you only brake for turn 1, so if you mess that up, your entire sector 1 is slow. That was a nice up the hill, but I think it might be invalid. Nope, must have just been in track limits. It certainly felt very close to being invalid. Okay, we're gonna get this Audi into this double left-hander, maybe. Depends where he brakes. Nope, definitely not getting him into there. Get a good exit on him and out the final corner, and we can maybe get him either on the straight or into turn 1. Let's see. I think we'll have him on the straight, to be honest. Oh no. He definitely seems to be running low wing because he has got some good straight line speed. So it looks like it's going to be ascending to turn 1. Bit late on the brakes there. But still get the move done. Onto the leader now. Should get him into maybe the hairpin actually, if we get a good exit on him here. Are we going to be close enough for this hairpin? I think so. Yep, he does leave the door open. Can we get the exit on him? Nope. Quite a bit. I have noticed that it's actually better to overtake around the outside of that hairpin. You get a lot more grip on the outside. Okay, we'll maybe be just before the chicane. If not, it's going to be the final 2 corners. Will be our next overtaking opportunity. Oh, I touched the curb. Definitely not into the chicane. Yep, lost too much time there to get him into the chicane now. The AI don't take enough curb into here, so you gain so much time on them here. As you can see, I think we'll get him into the final corner. I'm going to go for the grass. The AI refuse to go on the curb and they just turn into your rear wheel. Right, let's stop and let some pass and then we'll try fight through again. I'll just drop back to the field. Field's a lot more spread out now, so it is harder to make up the positions. Almost back to last. There we go. Yep, 24th. Back down to 24th, so let's fight through and see how many we can make up. Gonna have the outside of the Lambo there. Get a fantastic run on the Mercedes. Definitely have him into the hairpin, I think. Judging by the amount of speed he's gonna get out of here. Yep. Get him before the hairpin actually. There we go. Oh, I outbraked myself completely. Still, got a lot more grip on the outside there. Some battling up in front, we can take advantage of this. Bentley's going to be very offline. I lost it on the brakes there. Tried to have a sneaky pass. Sneak by whilst he was offline, but I completely failed. No doubt about it. That The Nissan I don't think is super quick on the straight, but he does have a bit of slipstream from the Aston. But he did seem to have a very bad exit out of the final corner, so I think we'll gain a lot. Might get him into sector 2. Let's see. Oh, sorry. He was a lot slower than I expected out of there. I was 2 tenths up on my delta as well, so I did really nice first 2 corners. Just got a bit caught off guard again. He just didn't seem to accelerate.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
There we go, we passed him a bit of a dirty pass there, by myself. I did misjudge his speed a number of times.
Car on the right.
I think we'll get him around the outside here.
Clear on the right.
What happened there? I went as wide as I could. That was weird. I took as much curb on the left as I could and left him as much space on the right as I could. I thought I left him plenty of space there and he spun into the wall. Maybe I didn't leave him as much space as I thought I had. Either way, he retired. That was a weird one. Okay, we've got the McLaren and the Lexus, and then we've got about a second gap to the next group of cars. So let's get these two. I think we'll get a good exit on this McLaren here. Definitely low 41s for race pace, maybe a high 40 in the server, because yeah, this is a rubbish lap and still finding time. So I think when I was doing practice I was a 41.2, I think 41.2 was my best with this setup on race pace in the server. So I think by well, tomorrow, I think if I really go for it, I think high 140s is definitely doable, but I don't think I'll be able to do any quicker than a high 140. Not on race pace anyway. Alexis had a good braking point there, couldn't get on the inside. Try take some of the slipstream on the straight though. Might get enough. Tobias, because we joined the Road to VCO Championships, we joined 3 of them at the same time, and that was before the McLaren was really good, because it started like a month ago or so. So I think it was either just after the McLaren had come out or just before it came out, and we didn't really know just how quick the McLaren was, so we went with the Porsche because it was really our favourite car and our best car. But as you can see, as you may have seen in the hot laps and stuff, the McLaren right now is super quick, especially when it's got no VOP. So had I known the McLaren was going to be so quick, I would have definitely picked the McLaren, because I quite enjoy driving the McLaren, but I didn't know at the time. So because we joined all 3 at the same time, we just joined with Porsche. So yeah, we're stuck with Porsche at the moment. I like driving it, but the new McLaren is definitely quicker. Not sure if it's quicker at all tracks, but even at Imola the McLaren is quicker than the Porsche. And I don't mean just my driving, actually on the hot laps. The McLaren is quicker than the Porsche here. Not by much, but he's still quicker. That Honda got a really good run on me. He is going to send it up on my inside as well. Got a fantastic run on the Nissan here. Just going to sneak down the inside here.
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
There we go. I need to check the start time for tomorrow, by the way, guys. I think the server opens at 1 PM, but I'll probably start just before qualifying, and I think practice is about an hour, or maybe less. I'll put it on my Instagram when I know the actual start time. I'll probably check after we do these races. Go check the actual start time. So we can do last to first in 9 minutes, but when the field spreads out, we obviously can't do that, as demonstrated. We've only gained 9 positions. This is dropping back to 24th. We got the first, after 9 minutes, dropped down to 24th. Tried to fight back through. I think we can maybe get into the top 10 before the end. Wait, no, we've got 2 laps left. I think we could get these 3 and that would be the maximum. Although, speaking of the McLaren 720S, I will hopefully build some setups for it, because I haven't really had time to build the setups for the McLaren, only the races we're doing, because I've got an exam coming up, so I've been spending a lot of time studying for that. But once I've done that, I will have a lot more free time in the evenings, because I won't need to be studying that, so I'll get back to a lot more videos and hot laps. But just now I'm quite busy with my exam. But at the end of August, that should be, when August is over, that should be my exam is done, like finished, so I'll have a lot more time in the evenings again. So that would be really nice. Get back to some more regular videos. Okay, final lap. Let's see if we can get these 2 on the final lap. Might be able to get the Audi here, I'm not sure. No, we won't. Nope. I was trying to stay behind him. That was completely my fault. I was trying to stay behind him and I did not expect him to brake that early. That was completely my fault then. Completely misjudged how early he was. Every other car I've done that on has out-accelerated me on the exit of the hairpin, because there's more grip there, if they're on the outside. The Lexus is like the only one that hasn't done that. Either it's because it's the AI is controlling it differently, or the Lexus really does not have any good acceleration at all. pretty sure even the Bentley out accelerated me on the exit there when I tried overtaking into the hairpin. Right, so that's the first one done, so we'll try that again. Last the first and then drop down to the back of the field and fight through again. And then, if there isn't any open lobbies, I need to get the tyre pressures for tomorrow. Check if there's any open lobbies again, and if not, then we'll just go on the practice server. But I do rather do some open lobbies because it's a bit more exciting than just driving around in the practice server. So let's try this again. Back, restart. Let's try that again. I wonder if I can use. I can use the same tires, but yes, the tire pressure, the tire wear is quite high on when you're fighting like that. So it's something you have to watch, because for the race we have to do, I think, 2 double stints in the race, 2 double stints, which is okay, but it does mean for those 2 double stints you do have to watch your tires. But the double stints, when we did them in RCI, a double stint was 2 hours. This championship, the stint timer is 45 minutes. So a double stint on tires is only an hour and a half, which is a lot better. Plus, you're on lower fuel because it's 45 minutes, so you don't burn the tires up as much because the car's lighter and you don't have to put as much steering in, etc, etc. So it's not actually as bad as it sounds, the double stints. But then every other stint will be a 45 minute. The only strategy thing will be seeing what teams do, because it's 6 tyre sets for practice, qualifying and a 5-hour race. So what most teams do is they don't go out in free practice, they do 1 stint in qualifying, and then... What was that? What happened there? I thought I left that Audi space. No, I didn't. That felt like he spun me almost. I didn't leave him space, did I? I didn't leave him enough space. I didn't leave him enough space at the start of the incident. So I went to push him wide. But then here, he just starts turning into me. But the initial contact was completely my fault. But I don't know why the AI, right? See, if you push them wide, they refuse to go on the curb. So there was the grass, so the AI can't go on the grass. But if there's a big curb, like say you're at Quota, for example, Circuit Americans, if you're there and you push an AI onto the curb, a normal person, a real driver, goes onto the curb, but the AI refuses to go on the curb and just turns into you. So that's what I thought had happened there, is I pushed the AI wide and he turned into me, but that was completely my fault. But it is weird that if you do end up pushing an AI, they just turn into you to try to get back onto the track. But that one there was completely my fault. I misjudged how much space I left in there. But before that, what was I saying? The tires. So, because you have limited tire sets for quali and race, what some teams will do is they'll only do 1 or 2 quali runs, and they'll just try and use 1 or 2 sets of tires for qualifying. And then what most teams, or what I would plan to do, is use your quali tires for the first 45-minute stint, because you wreck your tires when you're at the start of the race and you're fighting in the field like this when everyone's close. Plus, you don't have to have really great tires when you're in the field like this, because you don't have enough clean air to use them. You're in traffic, so you're just following everyone. So if you're on rubbish tyres, it doesn't matter as much.
Clear on the right.
So what some people will do is they'll do one quali run, use that tyre set for the first 45 minutes, do one double stint, and then do single stints every stint after that.
Clear on the left.
So yeah, we will see. We will see what happens. Ideally I only want to do one double stint, but at the same time,
Clear on the right.
45-minute stints, you lose a lot of time for changing the tyres. So it's almost worth double stinting every stint, when you think about it, because it isn't mandatory to change tyres. So it's almost worth doing an hour and a half stints, because changing after 45 minutes, I'm not sure if you lose more time than you would gain on the tyres. I mean, if we look now, right, shouldn't do that into a chicane. If I do 80 litres, that's about what you need for a stint, okay? That's 11-second pit stop. So if you change tyres every 45 minutes, you're actually adding on 19 seconds to your pit stop. And it's unlikely you'll gain 19 seconds being on fresh tyres in the next 45 minutes. So I think what we'll most likely do is do the qualifying on one set of tyres, and then we'll basically double stint every stint.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I think that's the best thing to do, in all honesty.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That time I left the Audi too much space and nearly spun myself. That was not ideal. I think in the last race we went down the middle at the start, and I didn't do that this time. So we didn't make as much progress at the start of the race, because on the last one I think we were up into 6th by the first lap. Because we just had a really good first lap, or the second lap. So we had a really good start, whereas we didn't have as good a start this one. Let's try getting this exit. AI is so slow here, having to lift off a flat corner. I want the outside here, so I've got the inside into this right-hander. Do not want the outside of that right-hander. The AI hits the curb, you're straight into the gravel. Got a good exit there on the Honda, but definitely not close enough to get an overtake done. Maybe up the hill into the chicane though, if we get a good exit on it. It's quite a pack. The leaders have pulled away, but 11th to 3rd is all in one big train. So hopefully this train doesn't split up too quickly. But P1 and P2 are gone.
Car on the right.
Oh!
Clear on the right.
Don't think he left me much room. Felt like he just straight lined that. Oh, Cody. That was a rookie mistake. That was a rookie mistake. That was a rookie error. Dip the rear wheel into the gravel. That was a rookie mistake. What happened at the chicane? It felt like he didn't leave me any space, but maybe I turned in on him. I turn in. To be fair, he has the corner. From my view, it felt like he had gone straight, but to be honest, that's really my fault in all honesty. I think that's just my fault. It's a mistake by me, because yeah, I think, see, I'm aiming for here and he's taking the line that wouldn't leave me space. So I'm expecting him to take a much tighter line and go that way, but obviously with him being AI, he's straight lining it more. So I've turned in expecting him to be going further over to the right. So really that is my fault, because I misjudged what I thought he would do there. But yes, a rookie error there at the end. So we'll do another one, and then we'll go and see if there's an open lobby. And if not, we will jump into a offline practice session and get the tire pressures. Once we've done the tire pressures, if there isn't an open lobby by then, I'll just jump in the practice server. The setup though is feeling really nice. I'm not, if any of you guys remember, we did the TSRC round 2 at Imola, and that was with the Porsche at Imola. So I've used a similar setup because that was also 45-minute stints, but with a mandatory driver change. So slightly different because you were changing tires every 45 minutes. So after doing that race, there was a few things I learned about the setup that I wanted to improve. So I basically, based off of how the race went in TSRC, I've adjusted the setup to make it slightly better. It's mainly giving it more rotation, in all honesty. So yeah, that was a much better start there than the last one we just did. I'm 3 wide though, which isn't ideal. There we go, much better start though. I'm thinking of going on the inside here, but I think the Lexus is going to block me. It's that big lock-up by the Lexus. I saw some tire smoke there. Whoa ho ho! They were early on the brakes there. No one going side by side either. They're just all in a train. Okay, 15th. See if we can get the Nissan either down the hill or on the exit of the uphill. Might be able to get him into this little right-hander here. The AI, especially on lap 1, brake early there, but I was on the wrong line to get on the inside there. Try the inside of the chicane this time. That worked better than the outside. AI just avoid the curve to the chicane so much. They always lose so much time there. Yeah. This is the maximum AI by the way as well. So I don't know why they are programmed not to use any curb, because like there, that AI is using curb. And they use some exit curb, but like there, the AI is avoided the apex and the exit curb. It's like they're programmed not to use any curb at all, which is silly. Especially when you're doing tracks like Kota, for example, they just won't cross the white line. Like here, see, they're not using any of the curbing at all. Even for maximal AI, I don't understand why they're programmed that way. There is quite a queue of cars up in front of us. As you can see, the leader has pulled away, P2 shortly behind him, and then everyone from 11th to P3 are all in this train, as you can see from the minimap. Up into 11th now, so everyone up to P3 is all in this train. But it is starting to break up a little bit. Got the VSR Lamborghini up in front in 8th, I think. Oh, I messed up. I messed up on the brakes there. Did I touch the Ferrari there? I must have just slightly touched him. I thought I'd avoided the contact. Oh, 3rd to 5th are starting to pull away from the rest of the train. See on the mini-map, so we need to pass these guys quickly before the rest pull away. Try to get the exit on the Ferrari. That was an okay exit, but I think the slipstream will help us here. Wait as long as we can in the slipstream. Pop out as late as possible. And there we go. Got a fantastic exit on the BMW. I'm gonna go around the outside here. Yeah, that is the VSR Lamborghini livery. Yeah, that was not great. I completely pushed him onto that curb, I think. He did only lose one position, but that was definitely my fault. I lost time.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Good switch back by that Porsche. Try to get him into the left-hander if we can. Yep.
Car on the right.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Clear on the right.
Nice switch back by that Porsche though, on the hairpin. The leader is quite a bit ahead of the rest of the field actually. So we've got these 4 guys and then it's the top 2. There we go, there we go, there we go.
Car on the right. Clear on the
Whoa! Oh, I've stalled. That's that over. What did I do wrong there? Did I just come off the brakes a bit too quickly? Because I completely lost it all on my own there. That wasn't contact. Have I come off the brakes too quick? I think I must have. Oh yeah, I did. It felt like I'd hit the curb, but I think it was my braking. What did I do? I either touched the curb on the outside or I came off the brakes too quickly. Oh, it was a combination of both, I think. I did touch this curb as I came off the brakes, but I came off the brakes way too quickly. I didn't trail brake because I was trying to brake late, and I didn't trail brake, and that's what messed me up there, coming off the brakes too quickly. But the setup does feel really nice. So what we'll do is we'll see if there's an open lobby. If not, we'll get the tire pressures for the race tomorrow. And if there still isn't an open lobby by the time we do the tire pressures, then we'll just have to do the practice server. It's just a bit boring to watch the practice server, if I'm honest. 30-minute hot stint. Excuse me. 30-minute hot stint. That is quite the length. Black gold sauce. Very, very quick. And I'm 99% sure he drives on the controller. Must be the quickest controller player I've seen. Imola. Where are you? Nope. No Imola. Sad. Oh well. We'll do free practice at 7 in the morning. What temps is it that I need? Let me get the graph. Let me find this graph. Where did I put it actually? There we go. 6 hours. Okay, so we need 18 degrees for this starting pressures. You know what? Let me try. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do it 14 degrees because I know that's the starting pressures. Or the starting temps of the race is 14 degrees. At 4 AM maybe we'll give us 14 degrees. I want 14 degrees for the tire graph. That's 16. Yeah, what I'll do is I will change it on the graph. So I will measure the pressures at 16 degrees and I'll measure the pressures at 26 degrees. So I've basically got 5 degrees that I can measure. So what I'll do is, that's 14, 14. So in theory I should lower these all by 2 clicks. Go to electronics, telemetry. $99. Open the Motec in the background. The best thing for tire pressures is to use Motec, and the reason for that is you have your average average tire pressure. So if you're driving and you look at your tire pressure in game, it shows you the tire pressure when you pressed return to garage. Obviously, when you return to garage, that could just be on a straight, by which point the tires have cooled down or dropped a bit in pressure. So you really want to measure your tire pressures over the average of the lap, because the pressures go up and down through the lap. Especially if you're on a track like Bathurst, for example, that's a really good example, because in the final sector you have straight, and the first sector you have a massive straight, really long straight. So your tire pressures cool down if you have high brake ducts, and then they go up a lot through the middle sector. So you want to have your average tire pressure instead of just measuring your tire pressures when you get to the end of the straight sort of thing. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll go out and see what we can do. Some people drive with bonnet cam, and I don't know how you could drive with bonnet cam. It feels like some people actually drive like this, and it feels like cheating, because like if you look, you see everything. It just feels so unrealistic. Although I will admit, on the F1 simulators, I do use the one where it's like just above the head. I forget what they call it. And I do use that view where it's kind of looking down. But I don't use the one where it's on top of the wing, which is kind of like that view there, the front bumper. I don't know how people can drive with that view, to be honest. Much rather be in the cockpit, it's a lot more immersive. So yeah, what I usually do is about 4 laps, and then check the average tire pressures, adjust them, and then do another 4 laps and see if they are perfect or if they need another small adjustment. But I find usually after 4 laps they are up to temperature and they won't change much after the first 4 laps. Because the first 2 laps, I would say, with the new tyre model is that they're still heating up quite a bit. Oh, I messed up there. We'll look at the average PSI, but these tire pressures aren't that far off. I'll do the 4 laps, but I'm thinking this tire pressure is okay. 26.8 is okay. I kind of aim for 26.8 because over an hour and a half stint your temperatures might change by a couple of degrees. So having that 0.2 psi safety net, so to speak, is really handy. Yeah, I'll do one more lap and then look at the average pressure, but I think the average pressures are going to be absolutely fine. I lost a second in the first sector, otherwise this would actually have been a decent lap, but the first sector I lost a second. Let's go again, final lap, and then we'll look at the tire pressures. See if I can get a good lap together on this one. That was a very slow first sector. I think I lost 2 to 3 tenths over what I can usually do. I did go a second up there before I touched the gravel and invalidated. Still am a second up. It's invalid, unfortunately. So no point really pushing. Yeah, I think I'll lower all the tire pressures by 1 click, and then I think that should be fairly fine, to be honest. We'll put the track later on in the day. Because we need 26 degrees track temp, and then we can do some tire pressure stuff. Oh, that was too late on the brakes. I was too busy looking at my tire pressures. But that does allow us to check the Motec. Just ignore the fact I hit the wall. I don't know why I'm so tired. But I am. Right, average tire pressure. Left front, left rear, right rear, go lap 3 obviously. So the left side was 26.9. So I'll put that down 1 click. So what did I do? I lowered it by 2 clicks, but we only need to lower it by 1 click. The right hand side, the right front, was too low by 1 click, and the rear right was perfect. So what I'll do is go to my graph and input these pressures. So left front 27.3, right front, left rear 26.1, so 27.3, 26.1, and then the right front is 26.9, and then the right rear is 25.7. So let's have a look then at it's weird how big of a difference there is between the front tires and the rear. It's quite a big difference compared to what there would usually be. It's maybe just the setup that I'm using. So what I want to do now is I want to go into the server at 26 degrees and do the tire pressures again. So what I'll do is I'll just move it to 10 o'clock. So I need the track temp to be 26 degrees, not the air temp. Oh, look at that, 25 degrees, almost perfect. I'm not going to argue about 1 degree. It's funny that, because I say the track temp and not the air temp, because one race I did all my pressures, and then it was just before the race start, and I was like, oh, what's the temperature? And my teammate, this was for a spa 12 hours, so there was 4 of us, or 3 of us in the chat, I can't remember. And my teammate goes, oh, the track or the air temp? And I was like, I don't know. And what I'd done was, when I'd done the tire temps for the setup, that I had everything saved on the sheet, I had done the air temperature instead of the track temperature. Thankfully, my teammate had done the same and gotten the pressures for his driving, but he had actually used a track temp, so we used his pressures. But had he not done that, I would have completely messed up our tyre strap, because that was the race where it was wet and dry, so we needed both the tyre pressures for the wet and the dry. So yeah, absolute nightmare. There's I just saw a thing pop up on my PC. Just there was as many of you will know, I'm in the UK, and we have in London and some other cities the low emission zones, but there's also an ultra low emission zone, and my car can't go in any of them without paying, and they make an absolute ton of money from it. But the low emission zones are a nightmare, because you need an economical car to drive in them, but you also need it's trying to get people to buy electric cars, but you need a fairly modern petrol car or diesel car, or you need any electric car, because my car is a 1.6 diesel, and it can't go in any low emission zone, whereas a friend of mine has a 1.4 van that's older than my car, yet can go in the low emission zone. So it basically depends on the age of your car and the size of your car. Sorry, the age of your car and the engine size of your car. So yeah, unfortunately, my current car can't go in a low emission zone, and I don't think I will ever buy an electric car. So yeah, I can't go in low emission zones, which is a pain. You can pay to go in them. It's like £12.50 daily charge. So it does add up very quickly if you live there, for example. But you've got to be careful with them, because sometimes to get to where you're going, you'll go in it, out it, in it, out it, and in. So you get charged every time you cross the line, which can be very expensive. Okay, we'll do another 2 laps and then look at the tyre pressure average. They do seem a bit low, so I think we might have to bump them up by a few clicks. And then if there isn't an open lobby, we'll just have to go on the practice server, I think. Or we'll do the open lobby, not the open lobby. If there isn't an open lobby, we'll maybe actually do the AI race again, because that was quite good. That's maybe what we'll do. That was terrible. Yeah, this was not a good lap. Tire pressures did jump up though, so we'll do one more lap and then I'll look at the average PSI. Tire pressures have definitely jumped up, but still too low. But not by much, just a slight adjustment. Okay, there we go. The tire pressure is kind of stabilized towards the end there. So if we return at garage, get the Motec out, and open the Motec file. I forgot to change it back to 99 laps, didn't I? On this setup, I forgot to do that when I changed the temperatures. That was a slight error. Okay, so left side was 26.8, which is perfect. Right side was 26.7 average. So right side up one click, but to be fair, pretty good guess. 10 degrees hotter, lowered by 1 psi on all tires, and then just the right hand side was 1 psi too low. So that was fairly good guess. Left front 26.4, left rear is 25.2, and the right hand side, the right front is 25.9, the right rear is 24.8. So that's got the tire pressure. So if I go 14 degrees, yep, that's it. Sheet is working absolutely fine, so that is all good. What I will do is screenshot it in case it doesn't save. I have the if it doesn't save, I have the pressures. So got the pressures, which is good. So if there isn't an open lobby, I think we'll just do some racing with the AI actually. I think I'm gonna go grab a bottle of water, and then we'll do some more, I think. Yeah. Oh, Imola. That's a rubbish lobby. Yeah, no good at Imola lobbies. If there's one person in it, then by the time we finish quali, you maybe have 3 people in it, and it's just boring. I only really go into an open lobby if it's full or close to full. So yeah. Right, I just need to check something that I forgot to check earlier. Right, yeah, that's fine. So let me just go grab a bottle of water, guys, and then I will be back. And we'll do some races with the AI to get some practice. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick snack. But yeah, this is 17 degrees. So what I can do is test the tire sheet actually. That's what I should have done. Right. So load the setup. I'm just gonna go on the down 3. Usually, right, just for anyone watching, if you do your tire pressures, my rule of thumb, so to speak, is 0.1 psi for every degree. So if I join an open lobby and I've got a setup for 25 degrees and the race that I'm joining is 20 degrees, I will increase it by 5 clicks. 5 degrees, 5 clicks. That's my rule of thumb. 10 degrees, 10 clicks. That's my rule of thumb. and then I fine tune it. But if I have no time to do tire pressures and I have to guess it, that's my educated guess. Because yeah, you don't want to just completely guess.
Stay level 5.
Let me put these my gloves on. Right, 20 minutes. Let's see if I can do this without spinning myself like I did last time. I still need to get our mini fridge, by the way. Basically, you guys can't see it, but here I have my PC beside me, and beside my PC, there's a big empty space that isn't used, and I really need to get like a mini fridge that I can put water and energy drinks in for racing, so I can just grab one out of the fridge. It would be very handy. Right, let's get a good start here. I'm going to try getting to the inside, but I might get blocked.
Car on the left. 3 wide. Clear on the left. All clear. Car on the left. 3 wide. All clear. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Well, that was a nice start. 12 positions, or 11. Oh, that was a misjudgment. That was a lot earlier than I expected.
Car on the right.
What's interesting is the AI uses both the new and old versions of the cars. So they have the, you can set it, so like here we have the new Porsche behind me, but we also have the old Porsche up in front. I think we might be able to get him into the right hander here. Yep.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Sneak past there. And I think we'll get the Lexus into the final 2 corners.
Car on the left. Warning for exceeding track limits. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
I was just trying to get one there, and then the Lambo was a bit early on the brakes. So nearly got past 2, but did not have, was not close enough to get past both.
Car on the right. Clear on the
Well,
right.
that worked. Put the Lambo onto the curb, or put him wide, and I braked early and he just went straight across the track after bouncing on the curb. That was handy. Oh, that was harsh. What happened there? I thought I was ahead into the corner. Did I turn in on him or did... No. No. No, I was ahead before the corner. My apex was slightly late, but still that was on the Lambo. Try that again because that will have wrecked the car. Just a bit unlucky to be honest there. I just got a bit tangled up on the grass. Right, let's try that again, and hopefully we don't get taken out like that. I think it was just I had the late apex and the Lambo just held his line that he was going to hold. And didn't account for the fact that I was slower at the apex than what I should have been. Whoa, that Bentley came out low.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
There was a crash in front of that Lexus, I think, and I didn't see it, so the Lexus braked. What happened there again? Way too early on the brakes.
Car on the right.
I forget sometimes just how early the AI brake on the first lap, especially the midfield AI. But yeah, in turn 3 there where I hit that Lexus, I'm sure I saw something on the... someone in the gravel, so I think the AI braked for that, and I obviously couldn't see it until after I hit him. So I just didn't expect him to brake up. Whoa! Again.
Clear on the right.
Just so early on the brakes. It's miles too early. But then corners like this chicane, they don't brake too early, they just are slow on the exit. So it's so hard to judge when racing the AI, like going down the hill way too early, and into the chicane that was an absolutely fine braking point. They just don't use much curb.
Car on the right.
But the braking point was fine, and into this double left-hander they use a normal braking point, but some of the corners they don't. It's very hard to judge. top 3 are pulling away at the moment. So we've got to try to get past these guys as quick as possible.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That's 1. And we've got past this Lexus, we've got a little bit of a gap to the Porsche. Not much, but there is still a gap. Yeah, see, they're so early on the brakes, still on the brakes, and doesn't accelerate up there.
Car on the left.
But then into the final 2 corners, they brake perfectly. So weird. Whoa!
Clear on the left.
Did I brake diagonally there? Did I just completely misjudge that? Eh? Either the AI just spun me or I braked diagonally. It looks like I do brake slightly over to the left, but I brake here, so there is space, right? The AI's got plenty of space. Yes, yes. No, he just spins me. It's like the AI doesn't know I'm there. Look at this. It doesn't know I'm there. I'm on the inside. Braking, on the inside, I'm ahead. He turns way too early. He turns, and I'm still there. But if you look at this view, there's most definitely space. And he just turns in. That's so weird. That was a weird one though, because it was like the AI had no idea I was there. It wasn't like I came out of nowhere either though. I was still alongside him, but it definitely looked like he did not know I was there. That was a weird one. Well, let's try that again. Hopefully the AI doesn't kill me. I'm going to give the AI a bit of a head start instead of just going down the middle. And just do the entire 20 minute without getting spun. Because going down the inside you do gain quite a bit at the start. So we basically have to overtake 26 cars. So basically don't overtake for the first 2 corners and then start overtaking. Because you get a good start, you do overtake a lot just before the first corner. But that's 2 already. Still going down the middle, even into the second sector. And now they should start going single file. Very early on the brakes, but the Nissan is there. So I'm going to go around the outside of the Nissan. Oh, I didn't have the grip to try and out-accelerate him on the outside there. This McLaren's going to brake early. Nope. That was a fine braking point. I braked early expecting him to brake early and he never did. Whoa ho ho, but then they all brake way too early there. Let's get the inside of the chicane here.
Car on the left.
Hopefully he doesn't do what the Lexus does and just turn in on them.
Clear on the left.
Left him space. There we go. That's us in 18th. Got the two Hondas, which might be a bit more difficult to overtake on the straight here, but they both have a compromised line out the final corner, so we're going to get one with relative ease, even though we touched the grass, but the other one has got a bit of a jump on us. No, the Honda still has that really good top speed. I think we're close enough to send it on the inside. Yes, we are.
Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
What happened that time? Was that me or him? Him. I left space and he tried to take the normal racing line through the chicane. Yeah. Pain. Absolute pain. These AI are terrible drivers, I have to say. Right, we will try that one more time and then I think this will be my final one. Because
Stay in double file.
we'll do the same thing of not overtaking the first sector. And then see what we can do. Hopefully I don't get taken out again, because it is a bit annoying. The Lexus just spun me. Honda just decided to straight line the chicane when I was on his outside. So yeah, let's not overtake the first sector, which is very difficult, and then try go 26th to first in 20 minutes. So not overtake first sector, and now let's overtake. Let's see if this is possible. So like I say, sometimes we'll get to 14th by the end of sector 1. We'll gain 10 positions just from having a good start, so this makes it quite a bit harder.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
There we go. That's the exit we want.
Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, I just clipped his rear there, I think. Hello, Aztec. How's it going? We are just doing some practice. We've got an endurance race tomorrow, so we're doing a last to first, 26th to first challenge in 20 minutes. Good. What about you? Yeah, all good. Just a bit tired today because I've been working, and then we had like a sports thing with some friends where we went to a park and did some games and stuff. So to be honest, I'm absolutely exhausted today, but still very good. How's the new wheel been?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
That's good. The Logitech G923 is a solid wheelbase. It lacks some of the upgradability of other wheelbases, but it's a very, oh, come on, the AI cannot go side by side in the chicane. I'm going to carry on, but I want to see the replay of that because every time I've gone around the outside, the AI has hit me. But yeah, the Logitech wheel is a good one, but what is really good with it is the fact that since it's so popular, it's extremely easy to find videos and articles on how to fix problems with it, and it's very easy to get mods for it because it's such a popular wheel. Yeah, again, Honda. It's a Honda again. I'm on the outside. He's got space, and he takes the normal straight line through it and then spins himself. The AI cannot go side by side there. They go straight. They just go straight when you're on your outside. And now his teammate is there. No, that's not his teammate. I thought it was, but it's not. It's just another Honda.
Clear on the right.
Okay, now we've got quite a big gap after that. I think we're 2 seconds faster than the leader or something, so when we're in clean air. So we'll see if we can do this. Slight setback there, but
Yellow flag,
oh,
yellow flag. Be careful there.
some carnage up in front. Yeah, are you gonna be doing the like tractor mechanic stuff, or are you gonna be doing something else? Because you did say a wee while ago about there was a job you were looking at getting. Do you think you'll get something with the mechanic stuff, or are you gonna do something else until you're fully qualified with the mechanic stuff and then get a mechanic job? What is your plan with that? The AI always lock up into this right-hander and always super early on the brakes.
Car on the right.
I've just realised I've gone and put myself on the outside again. Always get such a good exit going up the hill that I'm almost forced to go to the outside. Let's get a good exit out of the final corner here. Oh, not going to get a good exit because we're slightly compromised line, but we do get the position. So we've got these two, and then the top 10 are a few seconds ahead, but we will catch them. The leader though seems to be pulling away, but we are fastest. So we'll see how we do. Let's get here. Let's get him here. There we go. Get the Lexus. Angela, thanks for tuning into the stream. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce your surname, so I'm just calling you by your second name. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. I've seen your message, Rory, but I just have to wait till it's straight because I can't read it going through the lap. Very nice overtake on that Lexus. Thank you. Let's try the cutback on the Nissan, which is going to work beautifully. Oh, I thought he was going to go wide there, and he came back on a lot quicker than I anticipated. That was a misjudge. What happened there? I need to see the replay of that. We'll carry on. That was weird. The engineer job doesn't open up until next year, but I've applied for a joinery job and we'll hear about it sometime next week. But the dream would be to get the engineer job, but I need a car because the college would possibly be down. Oh, well, that's good then, Roy. Let us know if you hear back from the carpenting job. But does he not have any special awareness? No, see, I'm not joking, but I genuinely think the AI sometimes do not know that you're alongside them. Because I had that in the chicane where the Lexus spun me on the other race we did. We came into the corner and he literally just turned in and spun me. So I think they have no awareness that we're there. I think that's my fault though, that one. It looked like it was his from my cockpit view, but looking at the replay, that's mine. Yeah, I take responsibility for that one. I think that's completely my fault. From my cockpit view, I thought he had turned into me. I thought he had hit the curb and bounced wide, because I thought here I'd left him space from my view, but in all honesty, looking at the replay, that was completely my fault. That was completely my bad. Yeah, sometimes from the cockpit it appears something is completely different to what it actually is. Oh no. I hit the sausage curb. I was offline trying to overtake the Nissan. I wouldn't usually take that curb, but I tried to get on the inside and I took too much. We'll carry on till the end. That's just annoying. But yeah, that is the problem. That is why you can't judge an incident when you're driving. You have to look at the replay, because like that, from my cockpit view, I thought he had hit the curb and hit me. But when you look at the replay, it's very clear that it was actually completely my fault. So that's why you sometimes got to watch the replay. I'm gonna have to watch that curb in the race tomorrow, that I don't accidentally hit it, because that is very nasty if you get it wrong. To be honest, most of the curbs at Imola you have to take, and if you take them wrong, it's you spin. Even like turn 1 and 2, you have to take a lock curb, and you hit it wrong, you just spin. Yeah, I didn't know, Roy, they were doing. Whoa. I didn't know they had done the full races. I used to watch the long highlights, so it was like a big chunk of the race, but I didn't know they had the full races on Channel 4. I will need to watch that actually. I think the emojis haven't worked there, Angela. It doesn't look like it has. For some reason it's come up as text instead of the emoji in my chat. Probably my restream chat box thing doesn't recognise the emoji. It's the first time actually that's happened. I'm not going to go around the outside and get someone again. I'll get him on the exit. Oh, to be honest, the highlights are sometimes 2 hours, because the highlights aren't just the highlights, they have all the interviews. If it is the full race, then that's good, but last time I watched the highlights, they were like 2 hours, and they had a bunch of interviews and stuff, as well as the race highlights. But you probably saw a big chunk of the race, but there was a lot of the race you didn't see. It was really just any bits of action that they showed. I think, was it Silverstone that Channel 4 you could watch the race live for free? They do that for the Silverstone race, because they did it for 2021 Dubai finale, but I think they did it for Silverstone as well. Yeah, if the program is 2 hours long, most likely it's interviews and then the highlights. The actual highlights are still quite long, but a big chunk of it is the interviews. Yeah, look at that. See, if I stayed on the outside, they don't brake early enough. They just straight line into the side of you. That time I just decided to back out and go for the cutback, but if you actually try going for the outside, they do not brake in time for you to be on the outside. They just straight line it. Like, they don't take it that fast when you're behind them and there's no one in front of them. But if you're alongside them, they take it faster. It makes no sense. AI are pretty rubbish on this game. Some of the simulators, the AI are actually really good, but in ACC, in all honesty, the AI are rubbish. But most people don't race the AI. I'm just racing the AI because there isn't any open lobbies, and the practice server is quite boring for streaming. It's good for practicing late at night and stuff, but for actual streaming, the practice server is quite boring because you're just doing race practice. Okay, take 2 on the Lexus, or is this a different Lexus, the one we had to get past on? I can't remember. There's too many of them. I'm going to get him up the hill, possibly.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, too much curb. These two are battling. I don't necessarily watch British Touring Car, but I do like to drive Touring Car because when I did Project Cars 2, the cars that I enjoyed driving the most and I was most competitive in was the touring cars and the Clios. So I do quite like them. I did a little bit on Race Room, but I did... Oh, that curb again! I didn't have the same pace on Race Room as I did on Project Cars 2. Granted, I spent a lot of time on Project Cars 2, so if I really grinded Race Room then maybe, but I don't think the driving style Race Room suits me. So I'm waiting for Rensport, that's coming out, and that's esports focused, so I'm really looking forward to that because that's purely esports. So I'm really looking forward to Rensport. But ACC could bring out touring cars in the game, but they don't for some reason. Or they haven't, because basically this game is based on a real life championship, and the people that manage the real life championship, that manage the GT3, the GT4 that this game is based on, they also manage touring car championship. So technically they could bring touring cars into ACC, which would be amazing. Because I really enjoy touring cars because they're very competitive. And with touring cars, it's not all about this aerodynamics and setups. It's more just the driving with touring cars. It's a lot more just dependent on the driving, which makes the racing so much more exciting. And especially like when we did the Clio Cups, everyone was in the same car, so the racing was really intense and really competitive, which is a lot better. I did think I was a bit close on track limits and it didn't pop up. It just took a second to pop up there. Okay, we've got 2 laps and we've got two cars in front of us, 3 seconds ahead. We might be able to get these 2 guys in the final 2 laps. Let's see. Oh yeah, we'll definitely catch them in 2 laps. Yeah, that's the thing, there are a few things where you need the licenses and stuff to make it official championships. But yeah, I would quite like to get Rensport because that's in the beta testing phase, and they've given keys out, and I would have loved to get one of the early access keys, but they dropped them where like 50% that have... Basically, you put your email address in and then they send out the codes to 50% of the people that put in their emails. So unfortunately some of my teammates got codes, but I haven't got a code yet, which is annoying because I would have loved to do some Rensport. But right now, first the Rensport Championships, the official Rensport Championship has £250,000 prize money, or $250,000 in prize money, every 6 months. Like they do 2 championships a year, and each one is 250 grand in prize money. But there's another gaming organizer that's organised the championship with Rensport. I think they're doing the championship in Saudi Arabia. I could be completely wrong, but it's somewhere like Saudi Arabia. And the prize money is 1 million. 1 million. But I think that's split between a number of people. It's not just the winner that gets 1 million and everyone else gets nothing. But that's split between a drivers' championship and a team's championship. So one driver doesn't get 1 million, but it is 1 million in prize money split between however they're splitting it. So it's quite a bit of money in Rensport. So I cannot wait for that to either becomes public so that anyone can download it, or I can get an early access key, because that would be amazing. Oh, my tires are gone. I could not accelerate there.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Oh, come on, it's the final lap. Oh no, it's the final lap and I hit the curb. Oh, that was embarrassing. Just after nearly losing the rear, I clipped the curb. Also, are touring cars in general like manual, like sequential shifters, or is that just British touring cars? Never heard of Rensport, but I'm going to search it up on the second monitor. Rensport is really big at the moment, but it's in the beta kind of phase. But they're already doing esports championships on it, so esports drivers are on it. With the big teams are on it with their esports drivers, and then some random people get the early access code. But like I say, I haven't got an early access code yet, but I'm hoping I do, or I'll just have to wait for the release. But yeah, as to regards the sequential shifters, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it depends on the car, because like when I did race room, one of the touring cars had paddle shifters, like you have for a GT3 car. So I think it depends on the car, to be honest, and the championship and regulations. I'm not 100% sure, in all honesty. Now that was a weird one. I almost bottomed out on the curb. Can't believe I just lost it there and then spun immediately after. Just after saying my tires had gone. It's almost, do I actually hit the curb? It looks like I have one wheel on either side, but I actually bottom out over the middle part of the curb. Because usually I can cut that curb completely. And I get a track limit penalty, so I must have just clipped it slightly wrong or bottomed out. But yeah, that is that race over, unfortunately. But yeah, that is going to be us for tonight. Unfortunately, there were no open lobbies, but I am happy with what we got done tonight, because we've got some good setup testing there, even though the races with the AI are pretty rubbish because the AI aren't great. It was still good to get some practice test the race set up, and we have the tire temperatures for tomorrow, so we've got everything set for tomorrow, which is fantastic. So yeah, what do I need to do? Yeah, once I finish the stream, I need to get a screenshot for the stream tomorrow. But apart from that, I don't think we need to do anything else in preparation for the race tomorrow. I'll do a little bit of practice before, but should be good. Need to discuss the strategy with my teammate as well. But yeah, the race tomorrow, let me check just the time for you guys, because I did say I was going to check and I forgot. Are we BST or UTC? With BST. $9.55. Yeah, we're BST. I thought so, but I just doubted myself slightly. So the practice opens at 1 PM tomorrow, and the driver's briefing is 5 minutes as well. So qualifying starts at 1 tomorrow BST, or 12 if you're in UTC time zone. So yeah, that's fine. I'll probably start the stream because we have the 5-minute intro. I'm most likely going to start the stream during the driver briefing, and then that'll be it ready. The plan is that Luciano will do qualifying, because we were doing some practice together the other day, and he has about 2/10 of a second to 3/10 of a second more than I had in my lap. So he's doing qualifying because he's got like 3/10 quicker than me. So it just makes sense to put him in the car for qualifying. Most likely, he will do the first stint as well. I don't see any reason that he won't do the first stint unless there's a problem with his rig or something like that, but there shouldn't be. The only thing that I would say is that it is going to be a very quick and a very full grid tomorrow, because we have a few pretty good teams tomorrow, and we have 39. So TSRC was only, if I remember correctly, was only about 20 teams or 24 teams, whereas SOP has 49 teams. So 3 rounds. This is the first round. There's 1 round a month, I think. 300-minute race, 45-minute max stint timer. So the points is first gets 100 points, and to 45th gets 4 points. So from 1st to 45th you get points. 2 extra points for fastest lap. 2 extra points for fastest lap. And just like TSRC, it is a qualifier for the VCO Grand Finals in... when is the VCO Grand Finale? It's... I think it's November. Oh, I'm going to have to check actually. That it's not the same weekend I'm going down for the scholarship. If it is, then one of my teammates will do it, but at least be qualified. But the top 3 in each of the championships for VCO qualifiers, because there's 10 championships you can qualify with. So the top 3 in the championship get a slot in the GT3 class. 4th and 5th get a slot in the GT4 championship, and 6th to 8th in the championship get awarded a slot in the playoffs, which take place in October. And in that playoffs, the final 3 GT4 slots get filled. So me and Luciano are obviously aiming for a GT3 slot in the TSRC. I think after the first 2 rounds, 7th and 7th, missed the 3rd round because there's 1 round you're allowed to miss. I think we should qualify in TSRC in the top 5 unless we have some terrible luck in the next races, which would allow us in the in the top 3 are awarded in the GT3 class. So I think we'll definitely be in the top 5 is what I meant to say. So we'll definitely, I think, get a GT4 spot, but we're aiming to get a GT3 spot in one of the championships, because that's the main thing. So yeah, that's it for tonight. What I'll do is tomorrow, like I say, I'll start the stream at about 1:20. But I'll announce on my Instagram just before I'm going live, and there should be a scheduled event on the channel as well, so you should be able to set a notification up for that. But yeah, that is it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I know it might have been a bit boring with just the AI races, but there was no open lobbies to practice in, so we just had the race with the AI to practice, which was interesting. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.